Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, directed and produced by Paul Robertson and hosted by the voice of Lincoln City, Roger Robertson.
And welcome to the Double R Show. Double R along with son Paul, and we'll have an opportunity to talk about things that really affect the youth of the community today.
Yeah, and nonprofits as well. So, we're going to be talking about BB Camp, which is a great opportunity for kids to get across the lake there. And then we've got Lucinda Taylor coming on to talk about the Small Business Development Center's new offering for nonprofits. And then lastly,
Liz Martin talking about the Lincoln County School District ballot measure that is on the ballot right now, which does remind me, get your ballot out if you haven't already, and vote. Don't forget to vote. And we'll talk more about that in the close of the program and give you another boost to vote. Paul, let's take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
You'll find a book for every occasion at Bob's Beach Books. Something to read as you relax by an open fire? We have it. Studying a particular topic? We have that too. Traveling to a far-off land? Discover it first by reading. Bob's Beach Books in the Ocean Lake area of Lincoln City. Come discover.
And we'd like to remind you that Chinook Winds Casino Resort is the place because it is better at the beach. And better at the beach takes on a whole big meaning for those of us that are fortunate enough to live here, Paul.
right, and we are just extraordinarily excited about their 30th
Anniversary.
Yeah,
Oh,
coming up
goodness.
here in June. So,
Look forward to fireworks. Look forward to entertainment, including Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall on one program in Lincoln City. Jay Leno and Arsenio Hall. Goodness gracious.
yeah, and without a doubt, it's going to be a great program. So, looking forward to that, and coming here again in a few weeks' time. I mean, it's already
Yep.
mid-May here almost.
Midway already. And again, we remind you tickets are now on sale up at the box office at Chinook Winds Casino Resort. They stopped up there over the weekend. A lot of changes taking place inside the casino. It seems like they added space where no, they didn't, but it just looks more open.
Yeah, they moved out the waterfall that they had in there a long time ago now. It seems like it's a long time ago because it's been already in a new look for a while now. But yeah, it's really sharp look in there again now too. So refreshed and ready for a new spring.
And a new cafe forthcoming. New cafe is going to be where the buffet was. The buffet is gone now, but the cafe is coming on. That's going to be quite nice. You'll have the Rogue River Room, the deli, the cafe, then, of course, more fine dining across the street at the hotel. So lots of great venues for food at Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Food, better at the beach.
Zantello Law Group has moved. I'm Josh Zantello, and our law firm is now located across from the Lincoln City Community Center on Northeast 21st. Our law firm of knowledgeable professionals stand ready to assist you in life's matters.
Habitat for Humanity is involved in a lot of activities. Right now, Lucinda Taylor is getting involved with the Oregon Coast Community College and the Small Business Development Fund. Is that correct?
So the Small Business Development Center. They do small business development classes. They have for a number of years. I'm sure there are several graduates of that program listening to this program right now. But this year, for the very first time, they're offering a nonprofit small business management class. So it's something that's been on my mind for some time. And when I heard they were doing this, I was eager to be involved, and I'm honored that they're letting me be a part of it.
Why the nonprofits?
Running a small nonprofit is very different from running a small business. So with a nonprofit, you've got a board of directors, you have a different set of legal requirements that you need to meet. You need to be fundraising. You have so many more aspects to managing that business than you do to your typical for-profit business. It's very different. So while taking the for-profit small business management class was beneficial, there were elements that were missing for folks who are working in the nonprofit sector.
And you have a number of presentations you'll be making yourself, correct?
They have asked me to help with the first class on May 28th and the last class on January 21st of next year. So I'll be helping out with the intro and then the wrap-up.
Now, you run a nonprofit here in Lincoln County, Habitat for Humanity. What will you be bringing to the table for the people attending?
Really, what I'm bringing is that real world application. So when you study something in a book, you can read about it, you can hear about it, but when you hear this is what it looks like in the real world. So I've worked for other nonprofit organizations in the past. I have several years of experience prior to Habitat for Humanity. So I'll be bringing examples from all of that history to say, this is what that looked like here. This is what it looked like here. Yours might look a little different in some of these ways, but the ultimate goal is this.
Now, are we talking about how to operate a nonprofit or how to raise money for a nonprofit or all of the above?
All of the above. They are really, I'm impressed with the curriculum that they're putting together.
They'll be
talking about your vision, mission, and value statements. They'll be talking about the legal aspects. What are the legal requirements for board members? What are the 501c3 charitable organization high-level legal aspects of that, and then how to learn more about the nitty-gritty details, donor gift acknowledgments, and that kind of thing. They are bringing in a local retired grant writer who's going to be talking about how to write successful grant proposals, talking about board development and governance, financial management and budgeting. How do you write a budget for your nonprofit, right?
Or do you? There's probably too many of them that don't.
There are many that maybe don't, but I think everyone can benefit from writing a budget. The funny thing about a budget, it is really just your best guess about how the year ahead is going to go, but it helps guide you. It helps you know, wow, these are the expenses that we really need to cover. So how much money do I need to raise? And how do I raise that money? And how does my board help me do that? How do I get volunteers engaged and have them help? How do I lead a nonprofit? So maybe we have a nonprofit with employees. There are different kinds, right? So some nonprofits have employees and others are made up completely of volunteer boards. They operate a little bit differently. And so how do you lead these organizations based on what kind of nonprofit you're involved with? They're going to talk about strategic planning. So how do we determine our high-level goals? And then what are all of the strategies and tactics to support reaching those goals? So really, it is going to touch on all aspects of operating a nonprofit. So this is really for those who are relatively new to the nonprofit world, or maybe you have some experience and you want a refresher. For board members who want to know more about what does this world really look like, or maybe you work in nonprofit and fundraising, but you want to learn more about how would I run one? How can I develop my skills to become a leader and maybe advance in my career to maybe be an executive director?
So right now, you don't necessarily have to be part of a nonprofit to attend these classes. You could be looking from the outside in and looking forward to becoming a part of a nonprofit, or do you have to be in a nonprofit already?
Now, that's a darn good question, Roger. That is a Greg Price question with the SBDC. I believe the intent was for existing nonprofits who want to send maybe someone from their leadership team and someone from their board who can then work together on the different elements of developing your strategic plan and all the tactics and different pieces. I don't know that they would say no to someone who's interested in learning and getting into the nonprofit world. I think all students are good students.
I would have to think that the amount of effort that goes into running a nonprofit would be helped greatly by organizational skills that they're going to pick up.
Absolutely. I think even if you've been working in the nonprofit world for a little while, I think some of these skills, a lot of us in the nonprofit sector, we learned by doing. And so sometimes we missed out on some of the structure and some of the pieces that suddenly you're like, oh, I should have been doing that? Oh, that would make this easier. So there's a lot to learn in this more structured environment for folks who maybe learned on the job and didn't have official, maybe they didn't take business management classes in the past. So I think this is really something that can be, like I said, a good refresher or a good, really solid base to help you. Maybe you have a new startup nonprofit and there's a lot of this stuff you didn't know had to happen. this is a good way to find out.
And you just finished, Habitat for Humanity just finished the Home and Garden Show. How did that go this year?
Oh, it was a wonderful success.
Very good.
Our vendors had a great time, and all of the participants we had great comments. Thank you for asking.
Very good. Home and Garden Show is complete, but the next activity that Lucinda Taylor is on to starts when again?
The first class is May 28th. It wraps up in January 21st. Meets once a month during that time frame through the Small Business Development Center at OCCC.
Home-style cooking in a hometown atmosphere. Hi, I'm Adina from Zeller's Restaurant in Rose Lodge in Lincoln City. Join us daily for good fun and great food. You can even kick up your heels at Zeller's.
The Lincoln County School District is going to be on the ballot in May for helping rebuild buildings to add facilities. Liz Martin is with us. Liz has been on the Lincoln County School District Board of Directors now for how many years?
14 years and counting.
14 years and counting. Now, she has also got some chops because you were named the Oregon School Board Member of the Year last year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That was great to be so honored. And, I really enjoy my time on the board. I'm there for kids, and that's what it's all about. And it always has been, and it always will be.
Right now, you are going around the county telling people about a ballot measure that's going to be up in May to support those kids, but more importantly, to get them to vote and vote yes.
Yes, that's important, and that's why I'm here to talk about it. It's a great opportunity for all of the people of Lincoln County to support our schools and take care of your investment. We've all made investments in these buildings, and we need to take care of them. Just like a homeowner, you put on a new roof, you paint the house. That's what we're doing. We're taking care of our investments, and we need these buildings to last way into the future. To go build a new school now is beyond what we can bond. So it's important we take care of what we have.
I think a lot of us fail to remember how important that really is.
Well, the average age of our schools right now in the county is 51 years. And I graduated from one of those old schools, I can tell you. And I can tell you, and City Hall in Depot Bay is where I went to school. So, yeah, we need to take care of them. We've been doing a fantastic job, but in order to keep up with it, it's very important we pass this bond. We need to keep care of our investment, and I think we have some really important safety issues that need to be taken care of.
For instance?
Again, is wanting to make sure that we have a lockdown situation in all of the schools when needed. That is reality. That's what happens in
Isn't that
schools.
sad?
It really is. It really is. But I want to know that every day when my kids come to school, we've got their safety at the top of our priority. We want them safe and secure. And when you go to school and you feel that way, and your parents and community feel that way, that makes it great for the whole community. And when a school looks good, the kids have so much pride in where they're going, and your community feels good about it. So this isn't just for people with kids in school. This is for the whole community, a reason why you really need to vote yes on this.
And again, that yes vote comes about in May, correct?
Correct. Ballots will go out the end of April. The election itself is May 20th.
As you look at that ballot measure, you've obviously voted for it on the school board. What was your main motivation for that?
Well, I did work on the last bond levy, and we were successful. And I told everybody I was going to give it 150%. And if it didn't pass, then but it did pass. And the reason that passed is because we did, as a school district, what we promised we would do. We spent the money wisely. We used local contractors. We were an economic stimulus for the whole county, keeping people employed. And I think people can see that we made good on our promise.
Are you doing that again this time?
Yes, we are.
Very good.
All of the contractors we can use, all the money will stay in Lincoln County. And that's real important. One thing that you need to really realize about the bond is it is only for infrastructure and building new things. We can't hire teachers with it. That is not what it's designed for.
The teachers, administrators, janitors, none.
Exactly. This is only to be used for the construction And so I think a lot of people see that and think, well, let's hire new teachers. No, that's not what the money is for. And the other thing is that we qualified for a $6 million grant if we pass this bond from the state of Oregon. So that's huge. That's $6 million over beyond that $63 million.
Because we voted for...
Because we passed it.
Okay.
And so this money is there for the districts that passed a levy. So to be able to get $6 million over and beyond what we're asking for. And again, people need to remember, this is a renewal bond. This is not a new tax levy. This is a tax levy you're already paying. This will just keep that rolling forward at that same tax rate. And I think that's a huge selling point right now. No one wants a new tax, but if it's a tax you're already paying, and the benefits are so strong, outweigh what the tax would be. So I think it's a win-win for everyone.
Going back to something you talked about before, the pride in ownership really comes into play here, does it not?
Oh, it sure does. When you see the school's new paint job, again, having the fields that kids can be out utilizing year-round, play sheds, and we all know in our weather.
Really?
Yeah. Let me just tell you, it gets a little wet sometimes, and so we need to make sure that we have that all available for our kids. Again, trying to make sure we offer the very best to our kids. Our kids and our community deserve this. And again, it's not a big ask at this point, I think, just to keep renewing the current bonds. So I'm real proud of our district and what we put together, and this is just one more thing to add to us being such an outstanding district. We're so big, I think people don't kind of lose track. We're not just one school in one area. We're 5 big areas.
Entire county.
And so identifying each of the different areas, their needs, and I think we've done a good job collecting information from the community, from students. We want to hear what's important to the students. What do you think you need for your school? So we've got a lot of really good input. So to me, it's really a comprehensive package that we put together that's going to benefit everyone.
The yes vote in May for schools speaks volumes.
It does, and I hope everyone gets out and votes. That's important, and it's also real important to vote yes. So thank you.
Northwest Septic Service is your one-stop shop for all your septic needs.
Northwest Septic Service offers pumping, maintenance, repair, and inspections with one call, 541-994-6977.
Buying or selling a home? Northwest Septic Service can inspect your sewer line or an entire septic system.
Old or failing septic system? Northwest Septic Service can rejuvenate most drain fields, saving you thousands of dollars. 541-994-6977.
Serving Lincoln, Tillamook, and Yamhill counties, Northwest Septic Service. If you're looking for great early garden fresh produce, it's Kenny's IGA in the Bay Area of Lincoln City. 4 generations of Morgans caring for your every grocery need. All of your favorite beverages, a full deli, meat, produce, and of course, groceries.
We at La Roca are proud of our food, but don't take our word for it. Read the reviews. One person wrote, the service was friendly and efficient. Another writes, La Roca has become one of our favorites because it's authentic Mexican food.
Summer camp. We all love it. We all like to reminisce about it. Summer camp in Lincoln City, B'nai B'rith. With us right now is Sue Anderson. Summer camp is a big thing for B'nai B'rith, is it not?
Well, that's what it is. It is the camp out on Devil's Lake.
But it's a summer camp for all of the kids in and around Lincoln City.
Yes, the overnight camp is a Jewish camp.
Sure.
But anybody's welcome. I mean, there's kids from this area that go too. But they started a day camp as well, knowing that there were a lot of kids that had no place to be in the summer. So there's a day camp. And that is almost 100% Lincoln City kids. Sometimes there's somebody visiting grandma and grandpa, that kind of thing. But it's Lincoln City kids.
And it's some kids that probably wouldn't be at camp if it was not for spaghetti.
That's right. That's right. We hold a spaghetti dinner to try to get as many kids as possible there that would not get a chance to go to camp.
Any idea what it would cost to have a child there if it was not for all of the fundraisers?
You mean just for one kid to go?
Yeah.
It's actually $225 a week.
Oh, it is?
Yes, to go for day camp. They do get breakfast, lunch, and snack. They get to do all the activities that the overnight kids get to do, except sleeping there. They get to swim. They get to go out boating. There's arts and crafts. There's sports. There's a zip line. There's climbing.
I always wanted to do that zip line.
I know. I go down and watch it, but I've never done it. It looks like fun, though. It really does.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, now the Benai Birth Spaghetti Dinner is
Yes.
what really funds a lot of these activities for,
Yes.
for the local kids,
For
right?
the local kids. Yep, we're out having a spaghetti dinner on Thursday, May 15th out at camp. And if for people who haven't seen it, you really need to take a look at it. It's got a lot of new buildings and a brand new building that will open in June just for the day camp kids.
Really?
Yep, brand new, down
Is that
on the water.
On the water?
Yeah, it's down by the water. There was an old house down there, and there was the art center, and they tore those down, and they're building a center just for the day camp.
It seems like every time we go out there, every year when I go out for the spaghetti dinner, there are new buildings.
They've been trying. The men's camp, the Jewish Men's Club, actually is the one that builds the buildings. So they raise money for the buildings. What we're raising money for is not for the buildings. This is for the kids to go to camp. There's scholarships. But every year the men's camp tries to do something new. They've put in a new gym. They put in all new overnight camp buildings.
The facilities
They're
are
all
phenomenal.
all brand new. The offices are all new. It's just gorgeous, and it's a great setting right on the water.
So, for a child to go to summer camp, age-wise is what, Sue?
I think they have to be in first grade to start,
Okay.
and then they'll take kids usually 12. They'll go past that if the child needs day camp. A lot of times by 12, the kids don't want to go anymore. They want to stay home by themselves. So they'll go 12, 13, 14, 15. There are some kids who have some disabilities, and sometimes they'll go longer because they need the camp. They need somebody with them. But any age that kids want to go,
There's
something to do.
Accommodate it. You and State Senator Dick Anderson, your husband, have really been at the forefront of raising money for this. Why?
My grandkids went there.
Good enough reason.
And they love it. Our daughter works at camp, and I see, in fact, I have one granddaughter this week graduating from college. And before she gets her permanent job, she's coming back for one more year at camp working there. And she runs the office. So, you know, the kids that go there a lot of times just keep going and keep going. Michelle Copeland, who was the CEO, she went to camp, and her dad was part of camp. He was camp director at one time. It's generational. And, you know, there's stories you hear about meeting your spouses at camp. You know, there's all that kind of stuff going on, and the kids just create these wonderful memories. Speaking of that, I'm going to be reading the story of someone local. I'm not going to give it away, so you have to come to the spaghetti dinner. But at the spaghetti dinner, someone local has given us his story to tell, so I'm going to read that. And it is really moving how camp changed him, and to see what he does in this community now.
Big difference.
Is just amazing. So come on out and hear that story too.
Now, the spaghetti dinner is when?
It is Thursday, May 15th, so it's coming up. It starts with at 5 p.m. with a camp tour, or you can just come look on your own, come and have a glass of wine and visit. Then the dinner starts at 6 with a program. And I did confirm that there's going to be a very nice person there to help with the auction and raffles and things like that.
I wouldn't get so carried away.
Roger's going to be there. So we'll have some raffle prizes. We've got, I think I was telling you about it, we've got 4 dozen farm fresh eggs. We're going to auction off a dozen at a time to 4 different people. And you get a dozen eggs. But with it, there's a golden egg in one of them.
Not a golden goose, but a golden egg.
No, a golden egg. And if you get the golden egg, there is a big prize, which is a whole packet full of gift certificates.
So
hundreds of dollars in gift certificates, let me tell you.
So it's a whole dozen eggs, 4 dozen eggs to be auctioned off, and in one is a golden egg.
Yeah.
But they can't open it up
Nope,
until
we got to,
everybody's...
each one will be auctioned off and probably have somebody holding it on guard or something. And then at the same time, they'll open it up and find out who has the golden egg.
Okay. If somebody wants tickets, they do what, Sue?
You can go online. It's bb-360.org. But if you go and look up BB Camp, it'll take you to it, too.
It's a good dinner. It's a fun time.
It is.
And go early and take a look at the grounds.
Oh, it's beautiful. And if we've got weather like today, you won't even want to come inside. Let me tell you, it's gorgeous out there.
Hello, this is Paul Robertson with Robertson Environmental, and as a Taft graduate, I'm just asking people to renew, repair, and reinvest in our local schools. The new bond measure is a reinvestment opportunity that will not raise your taxes and just help to repair and update our local schools for health, safety, security, and more. So again, vote yes for schools.
Wouldn't it be great to have all your insurance needs handled by one agency? This is Charlotte Lado with Farmers Insurance and the Insurance Store. Visit our office next to the Wildflower Grill in Lincoln City. Let us be your one stop for your personal, commercial, health, and Medicare insurance needs.
Well, coming up on Monday, May 12th, 6 o'clock, the Lincoln City Council meets. Budget Committee meets at 6 o'clock on the 19th of May. On Tuesday, the 20th, we got Planning Commission. And on Wednesday, May 21st at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Lincoln City Parks and Rec. And the Lincoln City Parks and Rec, what they have been doing with their monies that they have been getting from grants written by members of the Parks and Rec Board and also by staff of the Lincoln City Parks and Rec, phenomenal.
Yeah, in fact, just last night, we were in a restaurant there, Kindred down there at the bottom of the hill, and we're talking to Councilor Marcy Baker, who owns the place,
sure.
and she mentioned that they won an award at a recent event that she was at that kind of surprised her. They didn't even know they were up for nomination. In fact, Lincoln City Parks and Rec pulled off and won a big award that was a big deal. She was just sharing us yesterday.
Ginny and staff have done a marvelous job, continue to do a marvelous job, and the people that they've got volunteering are, again, doing wonderful work. And congratulations to each and every one of them. Again, we remind you of the spaghetti dinner coming up out at Benai Berth on May 15th. 5 o'clock is a camp tour. 6 o'clock is dinner. Tickets are $18 for adults, $10 for kids 3 to 12. Age 2 and under, free. And it is marvelous, marvelous spaghetti. There'll be a lot of raffle prizes as well.
And an auctioneer that we know.
And an auctioneer that you probably know. And bring your billfold with you, your checkbook, your credit cards. We'll be more than happy to relieve you of any cash. And all the money goes to providing camp opportunities for Lincoln City youth this summer. It's a wonderful program. Give a hand to Food Share Bejeweled, a pre-loved jewelry fundraiser, Saturday, May 10th, 10 to 1. And this is going to be at the Central Coast Assembly Church down in Newport. All of the proceeds go to the Lincoln County Food Share. And the Lincoln City Chamber of Commerce Business Conference is forthcoming in June 27th. Workforce Solutions in Ever-Changing Economy is the theme for this year's program. So that's a good program as well. And again, we remind people to vote. It is critically important that they vote. Not a lot of candidates on the ballot, Paul, but the one issue that is primarily of importance is the Lincoln County School District building program.
Yeah, a renewal bond measure.
Renewal bond.
Yeah, so looking at some improvements, repairs, upgrades through a renewal bond, so it doesn't raise taxes.
No raising taxes.
We just provide the funding to reinvest in our local school district.
Very good. Anything else your side of the table?
Just a happy Mother's Day to Mom and all the other mothers out there in 2025.
And we'll be back next week with another program on the Double R Show. And remind you to like, share, and subscribe so you, your family, and friends around the world and across the street can join us on the Double R Show. For Paul, Jenna, I'm Double R. Have a happy day.
You've been listening to the Double R Show. Join Roger and Paul Robertson as they explore everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, produced by Always Productions and hosted by Roger Robertson. Have a story? Email contact@alwaysproductions.com or call 458-201-3039. For The Double R Show, I'm Jana Grawn.